That sounds good.
Love that sound. Hello and welcome to HobbyKing.com. My name is Stuart and I'm here to present to you a quick flight review of the Excalibur V2. Now, a lot of you will know and love the Excalibur. It was a very popular model in its original iteration, and it was definitely worthwhile bringing it back with a few small improvements. That being said, it was so good in the first place, it didn't really need much improving. But I will tell you the points of improvement that we've done on the V2. Now, in terms of spec, it's pretty much identical. The model of size, of course, is exactly the same. The power plant is the same, but what you have got that is different, the servos are now all metal geared throughout. The motor and ESC are the same, and it still runs on a 4S 18 to 2200. But the propeller is now a carbon infused nylon propeller, and it has a fully CNC'd aluminium spinner. Now those 2 points are important because these props are actually stronger and more efficient and lighter, and the aluminium spinner is durable, of course, being from metal, but aluminium, it's lightweight, and being metal, it allows a little more heat dissipation from the motor. Not that the Excalibur motor gets very hot anyway, but if it does, then the aluminium spinner helps to remove some of that heat from the motor. And then the two final other changes on the Excalibur, well, of course, there's the scheme. It had a very nice striking scheme before, and it has again now in the V2 iteration. And we've added some additional carbon fiber in the fuselage and in the wing joining area, just to give it some additional strength, and a little bit in the tail as well. Other than that, it's pretty much as it was before. If you are new to the Excalibur, definitely check out the flight review we're about to show you, but also underneath this video we'll give you a link to the V1 flight review, because it's just that much more comprehensive. We had more time and we were in a better location. Speaking of locations, we are here at a local park that we're allowed to fly at. And that's the thing about the Excalibur. If you have permission to fly in a local park, you can of course do that. It flies in even small spaces like this very well, but it's equally at home in a club, and in a club environment, of course, you can really explore it. What it's got is bags of power. You'll see that it launches very easily. In fact, in the video, I'll show you now. When I come to launch it, I just throttle up and I hold it like that, and I pretty much let go. It's got that much power that it just climbs and climbs and climbs, as you will see. It's very fast, it's got lots of pull, but one of the best things about this warm liner is going up as high as you can and as fast as you can with full throttle, cutting it at the top and then gliding for as long as you can. And the great thing about the Excalibur, it's got a very efficient and low drag airframe, so you'll actually be flying power off for a very long time. With a combination of climbing with full power then cutting, you also get very extended flight times. You can get in excess of 15 minutes of air time on the 18 to 2200 4S flying in that method. If you want to fly balls to the wall all the time and go full throttle, you can. Of course, you would expect a shorter flight time. It's relatively aerobatic. The stronger servos help. You'll see in the video that I'm doing loops and rolls and everything else, and it can slow down very nicely too with the power on. It's actually a very stable airframe at the low speed too. So that's it for the introduction and overview of the Excalibur V2. What we're going to do now is take it out just across the way there and give you a flight demonstration of the V2 Excalibur from Durafly. Alright, so here we go with the Excalibur V2, lots of power, so I like to launch it like this, pretty much give it full throttle and then away it goes. Now it's rather cold here right now, and the wind is a little brisk. We're at a public place that we're allowed to fly at, so it's not at the club, but it is a park, and if you have permission, the Excalibur is a good type of model to fly in parks if you don't have a club. So we're going to launch it now, and then when I come into land, I'm going to have to approach crosswind and then turn it into wind at last minute. So let's give the flight review of the Excalibur V2. Ready?
Ready?
Now this is how I launch. Just hold it like this, pretty much full power, and then just let go. There she goes. Now that is half power climb out. How's that on camera?
Very nice.
Alright, so bring it round. And I'm going to all power off now. Remember, it's got that folding propeller. I'm all just basically sloping. There's a bit of wind coming off the water there. Now I'm going to go full power. And go up, full power climb. You see, it really disappears. I'm sure you're struggling on camera there.
A little bit, yeah.
Power off, it's all about climbing and then power off passes. Listen.
That sounds good.
Love that sound. Now this is very much like the V1 in terms of flight performance and sound and everything else. Remember, all we've really done is add a little bit more, there's that sound, is add a little bit more reinforcement, and the servos now are full metal geared. It's all still power off. It still has great energy maintenance, by which I mean it maintains its forward momentum very well. It's a very aerodynamically sound airframe. Now you can just fly full power all the time if you wish, and you'll probably get around 3 or 4 minutes flight time, but it's really about climbing up and then going power off and just getting the maximum amount of flight times just by gliding in like this. Now I'm going to take it up again. You ready?
Ready?
Full power climb up. Come round and I'll do a fast pass, power off, listen to the whoosh. Beautiful sound. And it turns on very tight. You can use a little bit of rudder if you like. Like I said, there's a breeze there coming off the shore. That's really helping. Coming around, full power. This is low rate roll there. Let's do a loop here in the center. Sorry, probably a bit close. Power off, roll, and it will maintain. Look at that, a roll with power off at the bottom of that. Keep the nose down a little bit, use coordinated turns. You can really milk out the speed on this. Yeah, let's do a full power downwind pass. Very fast, as you can see. This is all still full power. Lovely sound, and remember, it's even more efficient now. The props are extremely well balanced out of the box, and they are lighter and stronger, so they're just that much more efficient. Okay, now the other thing you can do with the Excalibur, you can actually fly it really slow. So I'm on about a 1/3 throttle now, just coasting around. Probably got a better chance to get it on camera now.
This is a lot nicer for me.
It's a lot nicer, right? Okay. So in terms of filming, fly at slow speeds, which the Excalibur does very well. But in terms of real all-out fun, of course you can go fast with it too. I'll keep going slow. How's that on camera?
Very nice.
All right. I'll bring it around. Just fly around myself here a bit. Then we do a low pass. Just tip when you're landing. When it comes to it, you can actually use the propeller just on idle as an air brake. That slows it down nicely. Now I'm going to go full power up again. Ready? Full power climb. See that acceleration? And then you roll it off the top. And then let it scream.
That was quick.
It just doesn't get old. I love that. Keeping the nose down to keep the inertia. Power off all the way around here. The sun is setting, but it's still beautiful in this light for me anyway. And up we go again. And flying like this, not only is it very enjoyable, but you really get long flight times. I've been flying like this and I've got well over 15 minutes of flight time. Just power off, power on, climbing up, getting the height, and then power off again. We'll do a loop here, power off, and a roll, or half loop, roll out. We keep maintaining, power off, coming around. I'm going to bring it around this way. Got some oyster catchers there making the noise. That's the birds you can hear there. This is all still power off. I'm going to bring it around. Now the wind is coming in from the right hand side of frame, so I'm actually going to put a little bit of power on now, just to give me some control over the air surfaces. and then the propeller's on now, acting as an air brake. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to kick it around with rudder. Try not to turn too much. Bit more power. Oh, just ran out of air at the end there. But come over. It's a very tough airframe. I caught it a little bit there, but you'll see that it's absolutely fine. I think I'll probably do another landing just to get a nice one in the bag.
I've seen you do nicer ones, yeah.
Yeah, I did a nicer one. Always, typically, when the camera's not rolling, you do a nicer one.
Of course, yeah.
So there we go, a little bit of dirt there, a little bit of grass, but it's fine. Let's get a better landing for everybody here watching. Right, ready?
Ready?
2, 1. There she goes, away, full power climb out, power off immediately. Do a fast pass this way. There we go. Bleed a bit more speed off that way. Now it's crosswind now. Put the power on. Crosswind again. Going to fly it this way a little bit more. Remember, the propeller's acting as an air brake in this instance. Now I'm going to turn it around with the rudder. That's good that it's nose highs, let the speed bleed off a bit. There's a puddle there that I don't want to go in. Okay. There we go. Well, it was a little bit wibbly wobbly in the wind there, but what you see, that's unfortunate. I landed in some dog poo.
You did?
That's what happens when you fly at public parks like this. So there we go, that is the Excalibur V2, make that safe. I've got a 1800 in there, and you'll get flying like that, power on, power off, a good 10 to 15 minute flight time. Far more efficiency with this carbon infused nylon propeller, and of course the aluminium spinner, which allows for better heat soaking, so the heat dissipates better on the motor. That being said, it doesn't get very hot at all, and it's also got the additional reinforcement and all metal geared servos. So that is the Excalibur V2. There it is in the sunshine there from Durafly. It's available in all warehouses that have stock and spare parts too. We know that a lot of you enjoyed it before, so we're definitely sure you're going to enjoy the V2 iteration of the famous Durafly Excalibur. Thank you very much for watching. Check out the links below to the product and to the V1 video as well for a little more flying. We've got a little bit of slope footage of this V2. Of course, there is a included slope nose cone with the model. You'll see that rolling at the end credits. And I'll see you next time on HobbyKing's YouTube channel for a new release coming soon in the future. Bye. So you want to get it into the wind, fly along the ridge, like I'm doing now. These are not the best conditions, the wind's a little bit perpendicular. I'm always turning into the wind. Don't turn downwind, otherwise it will just drop. Bring it a bit closer to the edge here. There we go, the wind's picking up a bit now. If we'd come yesterday when it was over 100 kilometers an hour, that would have been a lot of fun. Get a close pass. A little bit of rudder at the top. How's that looking on camera? Oh, there's the wind. That's what we want. Get the nose down a bit. See the lift? There we go. Now this is just a small slope. Obviously if you're on a coast and you have some nice cliffs or up in some hills somewhere, you get some really, really big lift, but we're just getting what we can from this small slope, but it proves the point. Oh, I've lost the lift a bit there, you see? Bit of a dead pocket there. Oh, there we go.
Nice.